Is the ground floor opportunity truly better? That's the question we are going to be addressing in the next episode of the HyperFast Show. Stand by, you don't want to miss this one. All right, welcome back to the HyperFast Agent Show. Today, I'm going to look at a question that I get from, agents, or I see on social media, or, you kind of see the chatter here and there, and it's about, is the ground floor better, right? So, and specifically, this could apply to like any opportunity, but in the context for this podcast, this show, what we're going to be talking about is, eXp Realty. And to give you the background of eXp Realty, the company is now 15 years old. So it was founded in 2009. And if you look at that year, that's also when, companies like Uber and just some of these other huge cloud companies, came about, right? So this was at a unique time in history when the internet speed and capabilities were finally caught up enough and finally fast enough to build out these big companies. And it was also on the heels of the Great Recession, so people were looking for more efficient and easier to run and cheaper business models. And that's the landscape that was out there when Glenn Sanford founded this company. And for 10 years, you know, Glenn built the company without much competition at all. Right now, there were some copycat companies that came out, I think, 10 years ago. So, but a lot of them didn't gain traction until EXP had already gotten like massive, right? So, they kind of had this 10-year run without much competition, and really that was the ground floor if you really look at it, right? Like going out, building, evangelizing a whole new model to the real estate industry, with no other competitors in the space, and really building market by market, state by state, building the organizational structures. That to me was the true ground floor. Now I still think we're early. So let me preface it by saying that I still think we're very early in this model. If you add up, eXp Realty agents, 85,000 plus, and then you add up the next kind of three or four or five, uh, bootleg imitation companies out there. We're in like the low 100,000s, right, of total people at a cloud brokerage with revenue share. There are, 1.5 million real estate agents that are part of NAR, that are, part of the Realtor Association, and then hundreds of thousands more that aren't, right? So, we're really at like less than 5% of agents are in this model. Like 61% of realtors, so not all agents, but 60% of realtors are at a like an uncapped, legacy model, right? So, and then there's, a huge chunk that are flat fees and some others, but, when you look at cloud-based revenue share model, it's less than 5% of the market. So we are still early in it. Well, let's talk specifically about, a lot of people think like EXP has saturated the marketplace. It is all over, and I missed the boat. I'm too late. I have to go somewhere else and get in on the ground floor. Right. Well, the ground floor, the true ground floor really was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and there were less than 10,000 agents in total at cloud-based brokerages. To me, that was the true ground floor. Now we're in the situation where EXP is 4 times bigger than the largest competitor in the cloud-based space, and is proven at scale, right? 85,000 plus agents. It's proven in multiple markets, multiple countries. EXP is in 24 countries currently. They just announced 3 more: Turkey, Peru, and Egypt. right? So it's proven in other countries where there's massive, massive growth opportunities overseas because, the percentages of agents at cloud-based brokerages overseas is even less. So, the company is, proven at scale, proven in multiple markets. They've gone through the different challenges at various stages, right? Like getting from 0 to 100 has challenges. Getting from 100 to 1,000 has challenges. Getting from 1,000 to 5,000, different set of challenges, right? Getting from 5,000 to 20,000, different set of challenges. From 20,000 to 40,000, different set of challenges. 40,000 to 80,000, right? Another different set of challenges. So at each level, there's different challenges, right? eXp's already come that and is proven at scale. The other thing to consider, right, is if you're going to go somewhere, and most of the people that say they want a ground floor opportunity, they think it's going to be easier to build revenue share. And let me just say this: it takes work to build revenue share anywhere, right? It's leadership. You're leading other agents. You're helping them make a better brokerage choice. You're like helping mentor them in many cases. So it's a leadership role. It takes energy. It takes effort. Now, it's not as hard as many other ways of making money, right? But it does take energy, does take effort. And if you are going to pour 3 to 4 years of work building it up to something that can change your life, and it could happen in shorter than that, but let's just say 3 to 4 years, you really want to make sure that the company will exist in its current form for years to come after that. There's no guarantee in any of this, right? The entire industry could go away for some reason. So there's no guarantee anywhere, but you want the place that will give you the highest potential, right? That has the least possibility of changing. And a company that's already proven its scale and is profitable and has been profitable at every level, I think bodes well. And if you want to know if a company has really been profitable from the beginning, all you have to do is look at the percentage ownership of outsiders versus insiders, right? At eXp, Glenn and and the other founders collectively own almost 60-70% of the company. And then you lump in the agents in that category, and then the total number gets up to 70. So only 30% is owned by investors, institutional investors, regular investors, right? Trades on the NASDAQ, $2 billion market cap, all that. You look at other companies in this space, and the founders own like 2%, 3%, right? And a hedge fund might own 45% of the company. And you ask, well, why is that the case? Well, Glenn figured out how to make this model profitable and how to grow it out of cash flow, right? So eXp has grown out of cash flow, so the ownership didn't have to go to some sort of hedge fund or private equity fund early. Like these other founders build companies that aren't profitable, have negative cash flow, and then they go get cash from an IPO or from hedge funds, and they trade large percentages of ownership and equity away in order to get a pile of cash, and just hope that they can run through that and get their company big enough to be profitable before they run out of that pile of cash. And like our closest competitor has racked up 100 million in losses, over 100 million in losses, just to get to a quarter of our size. Now, as a company like that gets bigger, you might say like, oh, they're smaller, it'll be easier to recruit there, which not really true. But even if it was, well, with 45% of the company being owned by hedge funds, and without having a profitable quarter yet, right? Just think about it. At some point, the true owners of the company, the hedge fund, right, they're going to come in and say, look, we need to cut benefits, i.e. revenue share. We need to raise fees, right? Cap goes up. We got to be profitable. So there's just a greater likelihood if you go to one of these quote unquote ground floor opportunities that at some point the economics of it will change for the agent, which, you know, could make people leave in droves. You know, the other real possibility in some of these ground floor opportunities is, oops, hold on a second here. Sorry about that. My screen went out behind me. But the yeah, the other real possibility with some of these quote unquote ground floor opportunities is, you know, they don't make it, right? And we you saw this years ago, decades ago in the franchise, you know, model, right? You know, 50, 60 years ago, franchises came on the scene and then more and more came. And, you know, there were plenty of great franchises that used to be popular, booming, growing, 5,000 agents, 10,000 agents, 20,000 agents, 25,000. And then all of a sudden they were out of business, right? Because they didn't have a good economic model, right? Or they just didn't have the infrastructure that companies that already pushed through and made it. So, you know, there is a real possibility that many of these companies that come just like in the franchise growth era won't make it. And I do think most new models that are going to be rolled out are going to be cloud-based revenue share models, and I, you know, some of them are gonna work, and you know, you might have this situation where, you know, you have eXp is the Netflix of the industry, and maybe there's, you know, four, maybe five at most, you know, kind of Hulu's or you know, Paramounts or other streaming services, right? Like it's in this kind of cloud-based network market, there's usually one major winner, Uber, Amazon, and then, you know, hundreds of people clamoring to be like number two, three, or four, and many of them not working out. And again, you saw this in the legacy brick and mortar franchise model, and I'm sure it will play out here. You know, some of these models actually have already raised their hand and say, look, this is hard work. You know, I'm not just recruiting people to my new company, my new model. I'm building the infrastructure. I'm building the roads. I'm gonna just move it over to eXp, keep my brand, keep the agents, and come over to a profitable model and build on a platform that will help me build. And we're seeing that with a lot of brick and mortar legacy brokerages too. In the last 12 months, over 300 brokerages joined eXp Realty. So if you're a broker owner like I used to be, I'd love to, you know, chat with you about why or why not that might make sense. If you're someone that is looking for a ground floor opportunity, I would love to have a conversation with you about how we can create that for you at eXp. I've only been at the company just barely over 2 years. Keri and I have built groups of agents over 600 now, you know, that we're getting revenue share from, that we're, you know, also really enjoying new relationships and coaching and, you know, trading referrals in our own network. And if, you know, if you're really looking to build something special, we definitely can help you do that at eXp Realty. I've got amazing partners there, you know, Tim and Julie Harris, who have sponsored more agents than almost anyone at the company, right? And you know, in the 2 years that we've been there, Keri and I've been there, we've built faster, again, than almost anyone in the company. You know, certainly in our market, we've built faster than anyone, and we would love to have a conversation with you about, you know, why we made the move and how we can help you if you're considering making it, you know, especially if you're a team leader or broker owner, and you really want to look for a platform that will allow you to keep your brand, allow you to keep the influence you have over the agents that you love and care about. But really what the platform will do for you if you're in one of those categories is it will help shield you from kind of the boring stuff, the stuff in the industry that's not fun, the stuff that doesn't make you money, quite frankly, and probably gives you a lot of headaches. It'll shield you from that and really allow you to pour into your people, allow you to focus on training, allow you to focus on sales, allow you to focus on recruiting and growth and helping others do the same. So if you want to learn more about that, or just any agent out there that, wants to learn about what it's like to partner with Keri and I and get coaching and, all that great stuff that we offer our agents at eXp Realty, just pick up the phone, right? And text me 703-638-4393. Again, 703-638-4393. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the HyperFast Show. Please leave us a review, leave us a comment, share it with other agents that you think would benefit from hearing this message, and I'll see you next time.